This is the artist formerly known as Gold Dust, then back to Gold Dust, and I think it's still Gold Dust. No, just kidding, this is Sean. This is not BD, PBJ, it's not Little BD Zombie, it's not BDZ, it's not Brother Jerusalem, this isn't Chempire, even though before the computer broke, I actually was making a second solo album called The Return of Chempire, which I had absolutely no interest in after working on it for about an hour. Then I realized it's basically led me to make this podcast clip or this confession tape. What other monikers have I gone by? Just Dad, Island Dad. I know there was maybe, I think, one or two more. I don't exactly remember, just Big Daddy. Like, it's a whole bunch of... There's a whole bunch of different things. Which leads me to this confession tape. So, as the fans out there know, for the statement that I'm making, that it's been a long time coming. And what I'm talking about is my retirement from the rap game. May 4th of 2022, I'm specifically referring to rap music. And I know that I officially retired in 2016, but then I ended up coming back. I then retired again, I believe, after I made Planet Caravan 1, I attempted to retire a second time. And then I retired in 2000, I believe, 2008 or 2009. It was one of those where I retired and actually stayed retired all the way till 2014. So I've retired 3 times. But I'm not sure if it's just the time that I've been given recently within the last 2 weeks of starting this new job at 4 Peaks Security, where I'm a courtesy patrol guard. They pretty much pay me to do nothing. I just aimlessly walk around complexes in rich areas of Scottsdale. But I've been giving this a lot of thought over the last couple of weeks. Pretty much after really focusing on this after my computer broke. I accidentally dropped it when I got off the mattress when my wife was at work, and when I dropped it, the screen broke, and I had about one more day until it officially broke, where I gave over to DJ Nasty or Dynasty. I gave him the demo tape to half of the network. So it's technically a third network tape with 4 tracks. One of the tracks actually is now completely lost. It's gone. It was called Smooth. It was called MMMM Yeah Sampler, and it was a 3-minute track. And for whatever reason, I tried multiple times. It would not. Yahoo would not allow me to put the song in the email. I don't know why. I tried it like 3 or 4 times, and for some reason it wouldn't do it. And I just remembered, well, this wasn't the main single anyways. I don't even remember what it sounds like. So if the computer just completely shuts down, then it shuts down, which is what happened the next day. The computer completely just shut off. I can't get it to come on anymore. It is officially broken, and that track is now officially lost. And then we were making a lot of Pike tapes, which I believe Anti-American Music, up until this point of the entirety of our rap music careers, is probably now in my top 5 all-time favorite tapes that we've made. Especially, it's probably my all-time favorite mini tape, and the mini mixtape series that we've been making, and my goal was to reach what Buckethead did and make, I believe it was 302 Pike tapes. So mini EPs, like 4-track EPs. I mean, I guess an EP is 4 tracks, 4 to 6 tracks. I think it's actually 3 to 6 tracks, so it's technically an EP if it's under 20 minutes. But I realized it's just like when I used to drink alcohol a lot. Basically before I met my now wife in 2019. Because in 2017 I was trying to also quit rap. In 2016 I quit and tried to just make jazz music, no wave jazz. We have had in the talks, without anything coming of it, just because I just don't care to. I think we just need to open a new project and we need to start new. We need to start over. When it comes to jazz music, as the people out there know from the previous retrospectives that me and Rob, aka Dynasty, have made in the past, that there were talks in the plans of making Joust 2, which we actually were on track to doing in 2016, but being that we both did not like where the production and where the sound was going, because it was mostly due to me getting convicted from the Holy Spirit to stop making music like that, which we all know. I stopped listening to that. I quit listening to what God was trying to tell me to do, and I ended up making, I believe at the time was when we started, it was at the end of fucking Big Daddy's Bitch Ass World going into Planet Caravan 1 is when I just kind of scrapped the idea, but at the same time I wanted to quit rap again, which was actually the last time Project featured on any of my albums, which was back in 2000 and I believe 18. So here's the thing as to why I'm making this. I've been giving this a lot of thought, and it's just dawning on me that at the age of 33, even when I turned 30, it felt uncomfortable, but I didn't want to stop. It's like in my life's book, this is something where I keep trying to turn the pages to start new chapters in my life, but I keep going back to the heavy drinking and like basically the impulses that I get that I want to do, and keep reversing time back to 2014. I keep wanting to reverse it and go back to that time period. I think that's why it's been very, very difficult for me to stay away and just quit rap altogether, which is, I actually wanted to officially quit in 2019 after I just didn't make this known to Dynasty or Buck Strickland or whatnot. Like once we were in production for the Some Young Boys EP1, it was actually around the time period of when that started production and when we were mid-production for Network 2. Because Network 1, actually, for the people out there that don't know, we actually have a Christian 4-track EP that came out in 2014. But in EP number 2 for that is when I officially wanted to quit and just stop making music altogether. But the bug kept biting me and I kept getting excited, and then we ended up making, which is something that I was just very begrudgingly, and internally, I was very begrudgingly doing this. But it's just because it's so fun and so entertaining and so thought-provoking and creatively driven and artistic and all the things that we love to do when making music, even though it was begrudgingly, where inside my head I didn't really want to do it, but I did it anyways because I love doing it, was making the Are You Afraid of the Nine LP. So Big Daddy 9. I had a lot of fun making that, but at the same time, I just kept thinking, you know what, I don't really want to do this anymore. So what I want to do is we are going to go ahead and scrap the whole Joust 2 concept that we actually, like I said, was in the works. Not in the works, but we have had many conversations about it. What it's going to sound like, what it's going to look like, what the artwork would possibly look like. I mean, because I already put out the finale 2 years ago. That was supposed to be the last album. So I keep trying to quit rap and keep making songs about me quitting, and then I continue and I pull back, and then I reveal that, oh, Big Daddy's back, but now I have a new moniker, I have a new AKA now. Now it's back again. And I think just at the age of 33, I think I just want to stop this time. I want to stop the Pike tapes. And so we're just going to scrap. Well, the reason as to why I wanted to, because Dynasty said he did not like the quality of the songs. He didn't like the direction we were going with the album. And I completely agreed with him. It was too insane. It was getting to be way too much, because for the people out there, especially local bands and artists and musicians, have told me online that they love my album that me and Dynasty made together when we made the experimental jazz band, or what you would call outsider music, when Jail Central thinks Richard says. I've gotten multiple compliments about that record, and I didn't even promote the record, which is weird. People just found it, and it wasn't even on Bandcamp. I believe it was actually on YouTube at the time, back in 2014. But in 2016, when we were making Joust 2, we made 2 tracks, and I drew an album cover art for it, and it was just way, in my opinion, it was, even if you guys have heard that first album, this one that we were working on at the time was way too insane. It was too much. It was like Throbbing Gristle, as if you were trying to summon demons using the album as a portal. Like the direction that we were going with it, that I wanted to go for like 2 weeks, it just got to the point where I was thinking to myself, this is demonic. It's too far. So we put the scrap on it. He said he didn't like it, and I already had that opinion, and we scrapped the whole project. But anyways, and we've been just making Pike tapes for the last 4 to 5 months, which are actually really good. Like I said, Anti-American Music is probably one of my new favorite records that we've ever put out. The other 3 tapes are okay, I guess. Point Blank Chad was our recent one, and that was probably the best one in production-wise, rap-wise, creativity, things like that. I think Point Blank Chad is probably the most commercially appealing album. If you threw that on Bandcamp, or like if anyone said, what do you guys do Pike tapes about, I would say listen to Point Blank Chad, and then you can listen to the rest of them. Like that would be the sample tape. Basically a Some Young Boys Pike tape. Which now leads me to, once again, talking about what I genuinely want to do. And it's like I said, it's like when you open a book, and the book is like you're already on chapter 8, but the days of when I was doing Jaeger bombs and we were playing instruments and then rapping when I was making Male Supremacy, I keep trying to go back to that time, so I keep flipping the book back to chapter 4. And in life, you need to keep moving on. I feel that I've just gotten too old to be doing this. I already felt uncomfortable doing it when I was like 28, but I'm 33 now, but so instead we're just gonna scrap the whole Joust 2 concept that's now out the window. And what we're gonna do instead is I don't have a name yet or a concept. Well, I do have a concept but not a name. We're going to try our best to buy production equipment and the things that we need in order to make an actual album. And that's now the next step. And what I want to do now is make a new Joust Central band, but not as crazy as it was the first time. A new name for the band, a new feel for it. I want to keep this in lounge jazz / acid jazz, somewhat experimental music, but more straightforward, more appropriate, but it still has something where you can vibe to it when listening to it. And most of the tracks will basically just be instrumentals of playing instrument, like me and Nasty playing instruments together. Maybe have a couple of tracks that have maybe light singing or vocals or things like that, even maybe throw in a couple samples and whatnot. So that's what I would like to do. So I am now officially retiring. So May 4th of 2022, I'm now officially retiring from rap, but just for old time's sake, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be releasing, even though I actually had 3 tracks that were finished that I could not get off the computer. But they were all demos. They weren't polished or anything. They weren't production. So I'm going to be releasing BD10. It's going to be a full length 12 tracks. And we're going to go back to the old days as to how we recorded this. So even though this has already been in production for over a year now of BD10, because I announced this full-length rap album, I believe I announced it 1.5 years to maybe 2 years ago. So for the fans out there, please give us time. But I'm going to try to outdo myself by making the 10th album the best album. The one with every single track, all 12 tracks, including a secret track, because if you guys have known over time, all of our tracks have secret tracks in it that are full length. So Pikachu used Surf, for example, the Creed Little Boys Piss Hey Turkey Behind You on one album. There were some other albums, I don't exactly remember, but I would have to actually look at all the songs. And I just feel that this is the right time to do this. Because Nasty has put out, over the last couple of months, fucking air conditioning have to come on right now. Anyways, I'll just put my face next to the goddamn phone. Okay, so here's the thing. For the last couple of months, Nasty has been putting out best ofs of rankings, production-wise, play-wise, things like that, lyrical, of all of the major albums. And I believe this is the right time to actually pull the trigger on this and just say this is going to be it. We're just going to make this one last big, BDPPJ record with featuring of Dynasty and Buck Strickland, obviously, and whoever else wants to come on, and whatever samples and anything that I find and create. This is going to be it. Even though I did lose 3 demos, one of them being Kiwi Life. I don't remember what the other 2 were, but my goal for this very last rap album before we go full jazz, and every time we make music, it's only just going to be jazz lounge music, as if you're hanging out in the Lava Lamp Lounge with the late and great Gladiator, aka Mike Awesome, and even back to the Chuck Stew days of when we had the Lava Lamp Lounge segment of us watching movies and hanging out back in the old days. But we have to move forward. We have to move on with our lives. So this is going to be it. I'm quitting. I'm retiring after this album. And even though we have to start from scratch, this is going to be it. So thank you guys, for the people out there that have listened, the people randomly, even though I never promoted us, that liked our music. I'm probably not going to top the song that me and Nasty made, that 10-minute one track, where it was all vaporwave instrumentals with that one black guy from the Chappelle Show yelling "holla" for 2 minutes. I really don't think I can surpass that, even with the finale tape. I just felt it didn't do it justice, as in saying goodbye to the rap game. But this album is my swan song. I've been on underground tapes and an underground rapper since 2006. It's 2022. I think it's time to hang up the jersey. I'll sign the jersey, put it in a frame, and then hang up that frame in the Phoenix Suns stadium. And on the back of it, it says Somalia.